There's 3 ways to transform. That's what they are. They're not ways, actually. There is no one way, there is no 5 ways to transform. It's you transform or you don't, right? So bear with me here. I'm going to try and give you 3 ways, right, if you want a way. The thing is, you have a habit of trying to understand. Now, if you want to learn something, right? You want to, I don't know, learn how to knit, for what I know, right? Or to use a laptop. Okay, you learn, calculate, for example, right? You use thoughts. You try to understand 1 + 1 is 2. Is 1 + 1 2? Oh, yes, it's 2. Trying to understand, and then you store the information too. Good, very good. It's natural, nothing wrong with that. It's what your mind does. It won't change, but you're trying to understand what cannot be understood. We're not trying to understand mathematics here, are we? We're trying, or to knit. I'm not teaching you how to knit. Don't count on me, guys. I'm not gonna do that. No way. No. You're trying to understand what is true. And because you're trying to understand, you don't. Because you try to understand, that's why you try. It's because you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't try to understand if you understood. But here's the thing. You think that you can understand truth. And the truth is that there is nothing to understand. You never want to understand truth. You want to know what is true. And right now you can hear the difference, and you hear because you're listening, so you hear because you're here. You are not trying to understand, and there is no way to do just this. You are just simply listening, so you hear that there is nothing to understand. And maybe your mind goes, yeah, wow, but hold on, how about this? How about that? Right? And how about this, how about that is you having the habit of trying to understand what I just said, which cannot be understood, but can only be known. Try to understand because you don't. That's why you try. But you can't understand it. That's also why you try, because you want to understand, but you don't really want to understand. You think you have to understand because you think you have to understand to know. So what you want is to know once and for all, so that you don't ever need to try to understand anymore. Except mathematics, maybe, but that's okay. Doesn't matter, does it? Good. Now here's the thing. If you try to understand the power of now, right? But then you don't understand it. That's why you try to understand it. And there is nothing to understand. What is that power of now? Well, it's what I said in the first video already. Can you think of what you ate yesterday? Or yesterday? Silence here. Keep trying. Oh, no, you can't. Good. Now can you think of what you will eat tonight? Tonight. Shit, doesn't work what I said. If it's tonight for you when you're watching this, it doesn't work. Okay, so what if you're trying to think of what you will eat tomorrow? Tomorrow. Oh, but you can't because you're thinking of it now. Just like if you think of what you ate yesterday, you're thinking of it now. Now, if you think of what you ate yesterday tomorrow, when you will be thinking of it, will be now. Just like when I say tomorrow is when you will be thinking of it, all of this I just said is happening now. I am telling it to you now, and you are listening now. So you're here now, and you hear that there is nothing to understand because you hear it now. But hold on a second. Maybe I'll remember it later. Sure. So you will be thinking of it now as well, right? Maybe when you're eating what you wanted to eat yesterday tomorrow, you will be eating what you wanted to eat yesterday tomorrow, which will be now, not yesterday. There's nothing to understand. But I can't understand it. No, you're right, you can't. That's why you're not trying to understand. Because you know that you can't do what you want to do now tomorrow, you're doing it now. Whatever it is. Even if it's to eat pasta, you want to eat pasta now, you want it now. You can't want tomorrow, same thing. When you want tomorrow, you will want it now. When you wanted yesterday, you wanted it yesterday, but you probably don't want it now anymore. And if you do, it's okay, no problem. It's happening now. All of that to say, let's be a bit serious. There's nothing serious here, guys. But it's true. Not serious, true. There is no past. Oh, hold on, Max. What are you saying here? There is no past? That's not possible. Okay, That's not possible if you try to understand it. I mean, that's true. If you try to understand that there is no past, you won't understand it. How could you? Try. Right. Try to understand in the past that there is no past. Doesn't work, right? I mean, you can't do that in the past. You could try to understand only now. Because when you're trying to understand, it's always happening now. Even if you tried to understand 5 minutes ago, that was happening now. It was happening now. I repeat, it was happening now. Now, if it was happening now, and it is happening now, and it will be happening now, then it's only now. Whenever you think of tomorrow, you're thinking of it now. And whenever you think of the past, you think of it now. I'm not saying that you can't think of the past or can't think of the future, or that you shouldn't be doing it, or that you shouldn't do it anymore in the future. There is no future, so I'm not going to think of the future because that's what you think. That might be what you think because you are trying to understand that there is only now, which you know. You've always known. How could you not? You've always been now. In the past, it's happening now. In your mind, the past is a thought occurring now. What is the power of now, then? It's very simple. The power of now is that there is no past. Now, if you try to understand, you think, oh, okay, so what? Or maybe, really? No, here's the thing. You can't understand it because there is no past. And that's the power of now. Your past does not exist. It's just what you thought. If you think of the past, it's a memory, and this memory is happening right now. Think of what you ate yesterday. It's a memory of you eating your pasta, or your soup, veggies, fruit. I don't know, right? No meat. You don't like meat. You're trying to think of what you ate yesterday. Sorry, you're actually thinking of it. You're thinking of it right now because there is no past. It's just a memory that is happening right now. If you project what you will eat tomorrow, you are projecting it right now. There is no future. There is no past. And that's the power of now. There's nothing to understand about it. You simply know. And because you know, wow, that frees you from your past. Because here's the other thing, the other way, right? That's linked to it. You might be aware of your past, right? And you must be aware now. You must constantly be aware. Haven't you tried that? Somehow. You're trying to be aware right now. Trying to focus, right? To control your mind in a way. But your thoughts go everywhere. They go to yesterday, except they're not yesterday, they're right now. Your thoughts are right now and are going to what you ate yesterday. But those thoughts are right now. Okay, so if you are aware of what you ate yesterday, you are aware of it now. Try to constantly be aware that there is only now. That would be you trying to understand that there is only now. You can't do it. You can't do now. You are now. Always. Always. There is no past. But you can be aware of what happened. Sure, you can be aware of what you're eating. But you're always aware. Hold on. That's it. I can't be aware of being aware. I mean, I can be aware of being aware for a second. I'm aware that I'm aware now. But I'm not. It's just a thought that I'm aware of because I'm always aware. I'm always aware because there is only now. Ooh, that makes sense. It does, doesn't it? It does. You're aware now. When you were aware yesterday, you were aware now, weren't you? Now, if you're aware tomorrow, then you will be, because you're alive, right? You will be aware now. There is always now. So you're always aware, but you can't try to be aware of being aware because it just doesn't work. Try it now. It's still now. You're still aware now. This awareness that you're looking for is you. You are aware. How could you not be? You're aware of what you're watching right now, right? I mean, you are. Of course you are. How could you not be? And there's nothing to understand because you are aware. So you're not trying to understand that you are aware and that you always will be aware, whatever it is you're doing, wherever your focus is, whether your focus is on a memory that is happening right now, but a memory of the past, or a projection of the future that will be happening tomorrow. But if it happens tomorrow, it's still now, you are aware, always. Trying to constantly be aware is trying to understand that you are constantly aware, regardless of your thoughts. And that's the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that you are trying not to think of your past or not to think of your future, being anxious, for example, nervous, right? Okay. You're trying not to be aware. That's the elephant in the room. You're trying not to think of the elephant right now. I'm asking you not to think of an elephant. Do not think of an elephant in a room. Where's your elephant? It's in the room, right? Whenever I'm telling you this, for a split second, maybe for much longer, doesn't matter, but it's not possible to think of the elephant. After, sure, you'll think of something else. What I'm saying now, right now, maybe right now you're not thinking of the elephant, but if I'm telling you to think of the elephant, you are thinking of the elephant. If I'm telling you not to think of the elephant, you will be thinking of the elephant. And that is the elephant in the room, the unmissable, that whatever you try to chase away is what you are thinking right now, is what you are aware of right now. There's nothing to understand, is there? Because you're aware of what I'm saying right now. If you remember it later, you will be remembering it now when that happens. It's a memory that will be happening right now. You will be thinking of the elephant in the room that you've missed so many times. And I did. My God, I'm remembering right now. I did so much miss it. The elephant in the room. But there is only now. So you can only be aware now. So there's nothing to do to be aware. You are aware. And that frees you from trying not to be aware. Or to be aware. Doesn't matter either way. Because you're aware of the elephant in the room. That is in the room. Only if you think of it. And that will be the third way. Now I've given you 4 here. Trying to understand the power of now there is no past, but you knew that from the first video. Okay? Maybe it's clearer now, I hope. Aware and the elephant. So that's 4 and 3. So I'm sorry I lied when I say 3 ways. There are many ways which there is no way. It's not a way, it's just there's nothing to understand. That's the way. There is nothing to understand. Oh, by the way, you can't wake up in the past. I mean, obviously not, right? You can't. Because it's only now. And you can't wake up in the future either. If you wake up, not now, but in the future, it will be happening now. So why would you wait to wake up? There is nothing to do to wake up. You're simply listening, so you hear that there is nothing to understand because there is no past, no future. There is no past, no future because there's only now. There is only now because you're aware. You're aware. Of course, there's only now. And that's the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, the unmissable that you don't want to think of. You don't want to think of. All memories that you are thinking of right now cannot haunt you. How could they haunt you? They're happening now. You are aware of the memory, and if you're trying not to be aware of the elephant in the room, that is your memory, all right? That you don't want to think of. You are telling yourself that you don't want to think of it, so you think of it. That's the elephant in the room. That's the memory. It's just a thought that is crossing your mind right now, and there's nothing to do about this memory. That's why it cannot haunt you. It's there or it's not. Either way, it's just a memory that is happening right now. Silence, isn't your memory gone right now? It is. Of course it is. Because you're not thinking of it. That's simple. There is nothing to do. Your memory is the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that your memory is just a thought that is happening right now. There is no past. It's just what you thought.